What is up, everybody? My name is Eli from Romero Designs, and today I'm going to be showing you how you can use SketchUp, which is a free design software, to be able to create your designs on your computer. The cool thing about this software is that it's free, but it also has paid versions. The other thing is that once you create your design, there's settings that allow you to figure out how much material you're going to use, and once you figure out how much material you're going to use, you can figure out the cost of that material. So you'll be able to tell the cost of the entire project just through this software. The thing I like about this software is that it makes my process a whole lot quicker and a lot easier, and I get to use my computer for the design process. Let's jump into the video. Alright guys, the first thing that you want to do is open up Google Chrome and you're going to search SketchUp. It's all one word. The next thing that you're going to do is it'll bring you to this Google search page, and you'll click the first one and it should bring you to a page that looks like this. Now you can see that they have some paid plans, $119 a year, $299, and over $1,000 a year depending on what type of plan you're going to be using. But as you can tell from the title, this video is about a free plan. So go ahead and click for personal on the very left and it'll bring up that free plan, SketchUp free, and you can do modeling with the web version. So you're going to click sign up if you haven't signed up. So do all of that, and once you're signed up you can continue to the rest of this video. Since I'm already signed up, I would go ahead and click under products. It'll drop down these menus for the different plans that you're on, and since we're on a personal plan, what you'll do is you'll click this second one that says SketchUp free. This is going to take you to this next page where it says start modeling, or to keep exploring the plans. Since we want to start modeling, we're going to click that one. It'll load for a little bit, but just be patient. Alright guys, so you can see here on the left that it has some different things. You can see that this is the home page right here where it's going to keep all of your designs that you do. You can see I already have two designs, a studio desk and a mini shelf. I'll show you those and what they look like at the very end of this video, so stick around. The other thing is you can access your account, Trimble Connect, 3D Warehouse, and you can add locations. Alright, so the premise of this video is to teach you how to use the tools and to be able to figure out your way around this software. So we're going to go ahead and click create new, and depending on what you want to see your measurements in, you need to select whichever one of these you need. So for me it's going to be feet and inches, and it'll open. Now here is SketchUp and what it looks like when you open a new page, a new creation, right? So as you can see, or if you're kind of confused about what this looks like, which I was at the very beginning of this, that's okay. If you've been through geometry, you can tell that these are different planes, right? So this is the plane, as if this green one is like the floor, this is the floor, also the red, and this would be vertical, right? So this is horizontal, horizontal, and vertical. Cool. So just depending on the way you look at it, it can get you kind of confused, but just remember that this blue line means vertical and these are kind of more horizontal lines. So the first thing that we can see on the left side, the left panel, has all of your tools right here. So you have selection tool, you have an eraser, you have some painting tools, which can you see it brings up this little thing on the other side, which is going to be using your materials. You can see that you have a pencil tool and a more of a curved line pencil tool versus a straight line. You can tell that you have some other tools here. This is going to be like something that will help you create angles. So for example, if you draw a line here and you say you want it about 5'3" out this way, then you bring it around this way and you can tell how wide you want your angle. If you're trying to do a full circle or something like that, then you can do that as well. So this is a pretty cool software that you can use to be able to draw everything that you need to do. So this, I just created a full circle. Cool. So another thing that you can use is kind of the same thing. It's going to help you to draw squares and other circles and things like that. Another thing right here is your plane tool. You've got a few more tools on here. One of the other tools that is pretty good is a tape measure, where you can measure how long you can mark points that you need to draw later, or you can figure out how long or how far you drew a certain line or things like that. So this is literally really good because it's going to tell you, you know, the dimensions of your project. All right, so on the other side of the SketchUp screen, you have different things like an outliner. This is the instructor, so it tells you everything you need to know about the tools. For example, you have the eraser tool and it tells you everything that you need to know about these tools. So if you need help, obviously, what you want to do is you want to go through here and um, first click on this instructor tools so that you can see how to use these tools here on the side. So you'd click instructor, click instructor, which is like a graduation hat right here, and then you're going to go ahead and click on a tool and it'll give you the information that you need to know for that tool. So for example, like this one is a arc tool, right? You can draw arc entities, but even inside of this is a 2-point arc tool. Then you have a 3-point arc tool and also a pie tool. Cool. The other thing that you have here is a rectangle tool, a rotated rectangle tool. You also have a circle tool, polygon tool, and 3D text as well. This is a push or pull tool to where you can make boxes higher or shorter or bigger, depending on you can push or pull that plane that you hover above, and so that's a pretty good one to use when you're trying to scale things up. The other thing is a follow me tool, so you can just draw a simple line and then this will create something around it, a shape around it. And then here is an offset tool, which is going to help you to, you know, scale your designs in terms of learning how to create a copy of a line, and then you can bring it closer or further away from the original line that you drew, which is going to basically scale your design smaller or larger. Here are some other ones. You can do an outer shell tool. You can do pretty much anything you want with this software. It's crazy because it's free, but it's pretty in-depth. Here's a move tool that's going to help you move your objects. Here is a rotate tool, and then here's also a scale tool, which, like I said, is going to help you to scale your designs all the way, depending on which way you want to scale them. Then of course, again, we have the tape measure tool and we have the walk tool, so you can do a walkthrough of whatever you build and make sure that everything is right. And then here is a zoom tool, so you can zoom into everything and see everything how you want to see it. Cool. There's different tools that you can use. Like I said, you can do the instructor tool, which is going to help a lot, teaching you how to use the actual tools that are provided on this software. The other thing that you can use is materials, which is something that I really like to use. So let's just say we were creating a box. Once your box is created, which mine is almost done, you'll be able to color the materials the way that you want to color them, which is a great tool to have, because then you can see kind of what your design would look like in terms of color and material and things like that. You can kind of decide, or your client can decide what exactly they would like to see. So for example, if you take this and say let's say I wanted this to be literally just a wooden box. So what I can do is go over here to the search, and you can see that there's different types of things: concrete, brick, carpet. So this is more for houses and stuff, but if you're just doing furniture design like me, I go down to wood, and what I can do is select different colors of wood. So like this is kind of a grain type of thing, which that looks pretty cool. So there's a lot of things that you can do with this program. I would advise you just to spend a few hours on it, mess around with it. It's really not too hard, especially if you're good with technology. If you're not good with technology, you can get it too. It's a really easy program to do. All you're doing is drawing lines on your computer, and again, it tells you how you or everything you need to know about the tools. The biggest thing that I like is using this instructor thing to be able to click on the tool and figure out how to use it. So, for example, an eraser. If I want to erase something, I can go to this. I can click the eraser tool and then click the instructor, and it's going to tell me how to erase these entities. So the tool operation, click on any entity to erase. Alternatively, hold down mouse button, drag over entities, and all entities are erased when mouse button is released. So if I hold down my mouse, drag that one, you can see it highlighted blue, and there you go. So now I've erased the box that we actually just drew. Cool. So another thing is getting used to how to move around with this program. The thing about this program is that it can get kind of tricky in terms of how you move around, but the trick is I learned the hard way that if you don't have a mouse, it's going to be a lot harder because that mouse has that um, you know scrolling feature on the button in the middle of the mouse. So what you can do is use that mouse to zoom in and out instead of having to zoom in and out on your own um, with the actual tool. So it makes things a little bit easier. Plus you can click O on your keyboard, which is going to select the orbit tool, which is going to help you to kind of like scan around, click and drag to scan around your piece of furniture. They also include this figure here so that you can see how big the furniture piece is by kind of a human figure. Alright, so enough of that. Click home and it's going to bring you back to wherever you have your other designs. These are my two designs. The first one is a studio desk that I designed for one of my friends, and I'm currently going to be building that here soon, so stick around for that video. And I'm also going to build a new mini bookshelf type thing for my girlfriend, so I drew up a design for that as well. I haven't got the tools that I ordered yet, so this is what we're doing in the meantime. We're designing the furniture pieces for the builds that are coming up here shortly in the future. So as you can see, I have these designs here already built. This one is super dope. It's a studio desk, so I imagine he's probably gonna have his keyboard here and maybe some computers and different things like that so that he can produce his music, which is going to be super dope. Can't wait to hear the things that come out of that and being able to work in a cool space. So I'm glad to be a part of that for sure. This is the design we came up with, and it's kind of a slanted type of feel, mid-century modern, really cool piece. And I'm excited for this design. As you can tell, I already used the materials thing to be able to color this design, and so he's going for a darker look, which I think is super dope. So what you can do is click and drag over this piece and right click and scroll down to area, and then you're going to click selection, and this is going to tell you how many square feet or feet squared is in this design. So you can see that this how much material this is going to take up. So once you figure this number out, you'll be able to do your calculations and figure out how much materials are going to cost. Then you can figure out how much you're going to be able to charge for this project. And so that's super cool, and it's going to make your process a whole lot more efficient and easier, and you're going to get more creative because this is going to help you to think of cool designs that are structurally sound and still super dope. Alright guys, hopefully you learned something from this video. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe if you got any value from this video at all. And make sure you're using Sketchup. It's a great way to increase the efficiency of your projects. And the other thing is, it's free. So use it to your advantage, and hopefully you make some really dope builds out of it. See you next week.